Hello everyone and welcome back to another challenge in Illustrator. I'm Izzy, brand designer from Ottawa, Canada, and today we will be designing with grids and then messing it all up because who doesn't love a messy chaos? And also, I don't know about you, but I've been kind of starting to romanticize chaos because chaos makes everything interesting. And we're definitely going to check that out today in our designs. So without further ado, let's look at the presentation that I have made for you. But before we get into this, I want to say hi to all of you. Apura, Kevin, Penny Doodles, Robert, Franco, Voodooval, and so many more. Robert, did I already say that? Hey, if you get 2 highs, that's because you're special. Idara, it is so good to see everyone here. Okay, let's get started. So the creative challenge today, I don't have a mood board. Usually I do, but I did actually wanted to start to just draft from something that, again, I just want to be chaotic, not necessarily copying something for once. But what we will be working from, I should say, is the Indivisible font, which you can find in the Adobe fonts. One of my favorites, because if you look at it, this is also indivisible here. It's square, it has a lot of font weight, and it's just so fun to work with. Now, you have a starter file, which you can see here. There's not much to it, but we are going to zhuzh that up. So let's get into it. So here you see there's multiple strokes. And what I want to be doing here is just like having multiple strokes, but inside a shape. And then I want to warp those strokes to the shape. It's going to make sense as we go. So what I'm going to do here is actually ungroup all this, remove everything in between. I definitely fooled you on that one. Select either or of the stroke, and just increase the weight of it. And you can go like significantly thicker if you want. It's just going to make the stroke like kind of different, as like it's scaling up essentially. So here I will be doing a 3-point, and this one is 14. Let's do 15 just because it kind of fits within like mathematically. Why not? So then I will be going to my blend tool over here, selecting this stroke and this one as well. So as you can see, it's just making a lot of strokes and it's kind of scaling up within the weight of the strokes. There's definitely too much now because we're losing the space in between right here. So let's double click on the blend option and then do specified steps. And maybe we decrease this because right now there's just too much, it's too tight within the space that we have allowed it to be. So maybe let's go to 35 and oops, let's see how that looks. Still a little bit too much. So let's do that again. Maybe decrease it to 30. That works. I'm happy with this. And because I want to come back to this, I will, actually not right now. I was going to say let's duplicate it, but not right now. Now I want to be doing something that kind of has like this optical illusion. Trust me with this. I know we don't have a mood board, so you're just in it for the ride, but trust me with this. So I want to be creating just a crazy gradient because then I want to apply the gradient to those strokes. So here we can go to Window and find the gradient option. And we don't have to create the gradient right away on the stroke. I personally will just do a rectangle with a fill inside because I want to see the gradient as a whole. And then we will apply the gradient to it. I don't want to have the stroke around it. And just apply some funky colors to it. So let's start. It doesn't have to make sense. Just some cool colors that are talking to you right now. I'm definitely vibing with some neon colors these days. Let me know. Are you finding yourself designing with a color more than the other? And if you are, please share that in the chat. I would love to see what mood you're in these days. Let's add a yellow. And just keep adding. So see, I'm just clicking on top of this bar, double clicking in the circle and adding some colors. And like I said, we're just piling that on. Oh, you said purple, Voodoo Val. Okay, let's do a purple here for you. There you go. Let's add some more. Again, just embracing the chaos. And I feel like I'm missing like a nice pink in there. Like a super, there you go, saturated pink. And if you want to move the colors around, like if you want to even switch it up, all good, you can do so. Okay, so we're not actually seeing it because it's doing the stroke. There you go, now we're seeing it, and I'm just going to remove the stroke here. Perfect. So this is our gradient. I kind of want more of the orange. I'm going to add another orange in there. Let's see if I can add another one. There you go. Sometimes it gets tricky when you have a lot of colors in it, so you need to double click a few times before it's kind of registering that this is what you want to do. But that's okay because we have time. So let's embrace the chaos. That's the theme of the day. Embracing the chaos. Okay. Now this is looking exactly how I want it to look. Super chaotic, not necessarily aesthetic, but we're going to make it aesthetic. Okay, so here, Voodoo Val is saying, actually, I've been working on a project with tons of yellow and blue, very bright, not my usual, but it's been fun. It's fun to get out of the comfort zone. Again, sometimes like that's embracing the chaos because you don't know, like not that you don't know, but it's something new. And at first it's chaotic because your brain needs to adjust to it. But that's the beauty of designing, I find. It's just like having those new challenges. Penny Doodles is saying, wearing yellow, not so much designing with yellow. I mean, if that's your vibe, why not? This is fun. Ice Blue, Franco is saying, Peter, this is the hell of a gradient. Yes, it is, indeed. Like I said, it's chaotic. We're embracing the chaos today. So, okay, so we have that. Now, what I want to do is actually apply the gradient to our strokes over here. So I'm going to hold my shift key and select this with the color picker, and it did not work, of course, because I'm live. It does not work, but that's okay. If I do this, no, maybe I can do this. There you go. It worked here. So what I did is I actually had this selected. The gradient was here, and I just brought it to the stroke around, and I'm going to remove the fill inside, and maybe I can also edit the gradient and make that at 90 degrees so we have a gradient like that instead. Then we can put that aside, and I want to be making a few copies of this because I want to be using this multiple times to build on our poster. Oh yeah, did I not mention we're doing a poster? If you've been here since the beginning of this month's challenge, we're actually doing a poster series. So at the end of the 5 weeks, because yes, you get an extra week with me this month, you'll have a series of poster. So again, something cool that you can work with. So, okay, here, that's where the magic happens. You go to your pencil tool, make sure that this is selected, that this here is also selected, your blend of stroke. And if you go on top and you create like a organic shape, like so, don't go too crazy. And here, make sure that it's closing, just like that. And then what you can do is select everything. So your strokes and the shape, the organic shape. Go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. And just look what's going to happen. Look at that. It warped everything inside of our shape. How cool is that? I'm going to just go back one step because it was kind of like all meshing together on the right side of the shape, and I don't want that. So for this, I'm going to show you a cool, neat trick. And it's within the stroke panel. So if you don't have this on the side, you go to Window and you have Stroke, and you might have to do Show More Options. But you click on here, and here in the profile, you can actually choose different width and style of type of stroke. So if we click here, you can see it's kind of like warping the strokes for you, which is so cool. So you can kind of have fun. I usually like this one. It's kind of like a stretched tier if you want. And I think that it works really well with this option that we are going to do here. So let's keep our shape, select everything again, go back to Object and Envelope, Distort. It's the third one, Make with Top Object. And check this out. It is much more like cooler when we use the profile for that stroke. How freaking cool is this, right? I'm seeing some I'm seeing some reactions in the chat, which is exactly what I wanted to do, right? This is so awesome. And you can do so much with it. So let's build our poster. So because we are kind of working with grids, I wanted to break the grid because that's literally what we are doing here today. So let me put this on the side. And obviously with that type of gradient, what I think is cool is having a black background. And if you know me, you know that I do like a solid black. So I'm going to put this in the back and lock it. So you can do Command 2 if you're on a Mac or Control 2 if you're on a PC to lock it, or you can also use the top menu. Now, I actually want to use this because I want to be kind of using the straight lines with the messy lines. And let's see what that does. But before we do this, I actually want to make more shapes. I think this is going to be fun. Let me just bring that to the top. Oh, and they're all grouped. There you go. Like so. Again, using our pencil tool, let's create another shape, slightly different. Making sure that it closes. And let's change again the profile. I'll do the tier again because I like consistency. And again, selecting everything, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. And here we have two different shapes. They are hard to move around sometimes because there's a lot going on here. But we have two different shapes here. That one does not want to move for some reason. Maybe my computer is overheating. That's okay. So what I want to be doing here as well is actually for these, because I want to be using them, I want to put them in just one color. And a color that I've been loving these days is the cobalt blue, which is almost like a neon blue. This would be my color if I had to choose. And I want to make sure that we are utilizing this too, because I think in order to show some chaos, we need to have some order. Let me just kind of move this around. And I'm going to duplicate that again, turn it around like so, and just kind of putting it side by side. This I will group. and maybe align within the center of our poster. Let me make this a little bigger and just look how cool that is already starting to look. Let me do a trim view. I mean, do we like this? I love this. This is so fun. We're going to add more, don't worry. Like so. And I think that I want to duplicate this again. Just give it a little 360, actually. Like so. And aligning it. I think it's cool that it's aligning, but it's not necessarily the same thickness too. And again, we're just embracing the chaos. Or maybe, do I want to make it very different? Do it like, yeah, maybe I want it like that. So, you know, I'm talking as I'm making those decisions. I do the exact same thing when I'm not on a live, I guess, because I'm so used to doing lives now that I'm always acting as if it is, which is kind of funny. So there you go. Hi, Jack. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right. So I'm going to group this. Actually, no, let's not do that because I kind of want to duplicate this shape and just see how it interacts if we move it around and we maybe bring it at the back. Then just bring it forward because the back is our black background here. So see, it was doing something really cool when I was prepping. I don't know, like see how it's kind of like almost like an optical illusion when it's at the back like that because of the gradient. And imagine if we were to animate this afterwards, how cool that would be. Like if it was a poster for a big event and there was like a motion graphic with it, I mean, this is something that I personally could sell to a client really easily, which is so fun. If they want to embrace the chaos, of course, which not all clients want that, but yeah. I'm going to maybe just bring this one up a little bit because we do want to have some space to add text. And right now, I'm kind of designing out like the opposite way that I would usually do it. Usually I start with text and then I build around it. And then I see if I can kind of layer things up. But here, because I want that to be the star, I'm just kind of breaking my own creative process, really. Let's see. Oops. And this one I think I will bring at the front. So I think it's cool. Let's just twirl that around a little bit. Maybe make it a little smaller. Maybe they overlap too. Like so. And do we need another one? Maybe a small one. Let's again turn it around. If we wanted to have text here, let's see. Let's keep that one on the side and let's see how we do here. Okay, so I have some text that we can play with. So this is it here. This was not part of the starter file that I gave you, but feel free to use the exact same text. It's very simple. It just says breaking system, a date, a time, like I imagine as if this was like a gallery for a gallery show, and then distort the grid. It's not currently indivisible, so I will change that to the proper font that we want to work with. And I kind of like that this is medium. This I want it to be black, like very thick, and we need to have a thick font because it needs to poke through like kind of this visual chaos that we have here. So let me put that black in the font weight, but the color itself, it will be white. And we're gonna bring this and make it big. And let me bring it at the front as well. Like so. Let's maybe align it. Perfect. And let's bring it at the top. A cool thing that you can do with this too, if you want to actually use this as if it was a grid, let me group this quickly, is actually put the text as if it was sitting on a line, as if it was a grid that you were designing with. But having those organic lines at the back will still kind of give that distressing, if you want, or chaotic look. But we just want to make sure that it's kind of sitting perfectly. See the T here? I think that we can bring it up like this here, and the G is touching like a stroke at the bottom as well. So this is like kind of fitting perfectly, like so. And then we can bring this into the design. At first, I thought that this could be white. Let's see how it, let's see actually, and maybe we put it really small and we kind of repeat it everywhere as if it was like a broken system. So yeah. Peter saying this is like one of those posters where you look at the red dot in the middle for 30 seconds and then you look away and then everything moves. That's right. That is so true. I mean, if it creates an optical illusion by accident, I mean, that would be so cool. Okay, so I want this to be very small and I want to be kind of popping it in everywhere. We're almost at time, so this is perfect. Oops. Let me just lock everything so I'm not grabbing the wrong thing here. Perfect. Maybe I'm gonna make it just like bold. Yeah, so we can see it a bit more. Same thing with this here. Okay. And maybe we put it vertical too, like so. And just kind of having fun with it. Even if it's not readable, I think that's okay because it's repeated. And this is kind of the vibe that we're going for, right? So here, like so. This is purely done on intuition. This is what I like about personal projects, to be honest, is that you can just allow yourself to experiment. And sometimes you don't even know that you can do cool stuff like this. Like honestly, I figured out this new trick a few weeks ago, and then I decided to offer it as content for this very challenge. And I have not been using it that much, but I thought this is such a cool thing. And with everything that we're seeing right now, like the trends, and I thought this was a really neat one to have fun with. We're going to do the same here. Just let me bring it at the front with the time and space. Same thing. And if you're deciding to have text vertically, make sure that it's always on the same side. So it's creating that visual hierarchy if you want. And consistency. Consistency is very important. Maybe we put it here. It's just kind of random. Like so. Okay. We need one more sitting properly. Like so. Okay. So essentially, this is the poster that I have for you. This is what we made today. I have the final version here. I tried it with different colors. How cool is this? And again, if you have some posters and you want to showcase it, I say put it in a mock-up, right? Like if you've been following those challenges, you have now 3 posters. This is technically or closely how they should look. And I mean, how cool is that? You can have your own little collection. So on that, I say thank you so much everyone for watching. As if this went by so quickly. I can't wait what you will see with this new trick. And I will see you next week with another fun one. Stay tuned everyone, because there's more content coming. Thank you so much. Bye.